Good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time you're listening to this. It's the Brandon Mig podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Mig, with co-host Dark Xeno Knight. That's your,
What's up?
yeah, that was your cue.
I say I'm here. I'm here. I was letting you finish your wording. So how are you
Yeah.
today?
Uh, I'm not gonna say. So yeah, we're gonna just keep it as is.
So we're not gonna make a comment.
No comment today.
No comment today, huh? Okay. Okay, I'll have
It's
to
been
be
a
good.
shit yesterday and a shit morning.
Oh goodness. Well, it just adds on to the whole week, doesn't it?
Sure, yeah, let's go with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Even
just
though my
adds.
week just started at work and everything else.
I was talking about just 2020. 6 days in, we're already going through good old fun, right? 2021.
Yeah, well, a day. Oh, wait, what? How many days ago was that? 3 days ago at the White House, or was that
Uh,
two
the
days?
Capitol.
The cat.
It was
Yeah,
two,
that.
yeah, it was 2 days ago at the Capitol building. We had the run on the Capitol, which I find hysterical because if you look at it, it looked totally planned and set
By
up.
whom? By. Let's try not
Well,
to
that's the
get banned
thing.
from any
W-
podcast or anything. Go ahead.
We don't know by whom or what, but the fact is that we see these people that were allowed to walk through the gates, no police, stoppage, no security uh, issues. You know, just a few weeks before, with the other protests, they had National Guard and everything armed and sitting around. You can't tell me people didn't know this was coming.
Yeah, I don't understand how they just walked. Like some of the people that got in were cameos in different other pictures. I don't know if it was photoshopped or not,
Well, yeah,
but
it,
there's
it,
a
it literally
go ahead.
it was weird. Like I see video of a cop just opening the barricade and stepping aside, letting people walk through, and it's like, wait a second, you're supposed to stay in there. So did he get the okay that all senators were out and let these people through? So we have everybody upset. These people were here, which it worked. Yeah.
I was gonna add to shit. I don't know what the hell I was gonna add. Hold on, let me think about this. Just go ahead. Just
All I gotta say is, it should have never happened. They should have never been able to get through the barricade. They should have never been able to get to the front door. They should never been able to get into the building and walk around the building. Now we have what, one lady dead because of it.
oh yeah. So as like a list, not even a list. Six, seven, about 8 people, maybe more. That's on the news.
Yeah,
If you see these people, call FBI or blah blah blah, whoever the hell they were. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
what?
yeah. I love it, dude. FBI's posting. We're trying to figure out how this happened. I'm like, are you serious? Everybody's known this is going to happen for like 60 days. There's been rumors of it on Facebook, Twitter,
Oh, I
any
didn't.
social media site, on certain sites that I won't mention because they're now becoming flamed. Uh, Group sites. It's like, listen, if you didn't see this coming, it's surprising that we haven't had another September 11th incident. you know?
I was actually shocked nothing worse happened.
Well,
Like
that's what makes
extremely worse.
that's what makes me think that a lot of it was planned. Because it's like, really, you know, all the things that could have happened, nothing really did. If you're talking, these are supposed to be, an extreme group. trying to take a coup, or whatever, how you ever want to say it, to take over the government. It was very tame if that was their attempt to take over the government.
So, from your point of view, or anybody's, some people are saying, they got paid to go in, this and that. Who would have paid them? Or better yet, what was our president Trump doing? Was he
So that,
like, yeah, let him go in?
yeah,
We
that's
paid
what
we
everybody's
paid
like.
them off.
Everybody's like, oh yeah, these are Trump supporters. They're doing this. And so I'm like, if
Like, get your
I
facts straight, everybody.
yeah, the thing is, we don't have the facts of it all, but it just seems way too convenient. They're all wearing Trump gear. I do know that the 1% fringe of the right wing and the 1% fringe of the left wing are extreme, and we do put a lot of media sense on those 1% on each side. But if you're looking at all the stuff that's happened in the last few years, these people are well organized, well equipped, and it seems to be well too convenient that nobody can find a lot of the organizers, but they can find random people in the group and dox them on both sides. But they can never find the head organizers. And you got to sit there and question, well, how? I go out and I do something illegal. I'm caught within about a week.
This is
you
true.
know, you know. But these guys, they're walking in on a government building and causing huge stir and hatred. I do have to laugh about the guy that the picture of the guy walking with the Virginia battle flag, or I'm sorry, the Confederate flag,
Yeah, you know what?
through the halls. Well, that's what everybody sees it as, is the Confederate flag, when it's really the Virginian battle flag. You know, there were two different flags. I hope people realize. The thing is I laughed. I'm like, well, it only took them how many decades to finally walk that flag through those halls?
A lot.
Yeah, but it's just, to me, it's way too convenient to have happen. Uh, Nobody in what was it? We spend 900 billion a year on military equipment and security and
Do you
defense
believe
budget.
that? I mean, in a way, do
Well,
you
yeah,
believe half of that?
we do spend that. But the thing is if we spend that, there's no way we would let people casually take over our Capitol building.
Oh yeah, of course.
you know,
No
yeah,
worries.
yeah, you know that that our nation was never in danger. Because we spend a ton of money like that every year for defense or whatever, and there's no way they would just let some people take over the government with that kind of money you put into it. This was all an act, to get you mad and upset about, oh, this is Trump's doing. No, this is a grandstanding at its finest to set up the dictatorship. Dictators don't take over in one run. It
I
takes a few steps. All right, it takes a few things. And the fact is that we let this happen with no force. The next time it's going to come even more. Next time they're going to come with armed trucks.
When's the next time?
Oh, that's the thing. You don't know. You know, you don't know. See, and that's the thing. We live in a one-up society. Do you agree? You buy a 42-inch TV, post it on Twitter that I bought a 42-inch TV. Within minutes, somebody's going to post, I got a 52. All right. We live in a one up society. In the last 2 years, we've seen constant from the news the barragement of how good it is for these people in Portland and all these other cities that are attacking government buildings. It's an evil government. Well, then we have this happen, and suddenly the news media is like, this is horrible. This is outrage. This shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, it's like tried to reverse the how do you word that? Reverse what happened? Yeah, yeah,
reverse psychology.
yeah. It's like
Yeah,
what if we go with it this time?
yeah, what'd you expect? Yeah, for 2 years, you sat here and said it was great that people were doing it. And now suddenly it's wrong because, oh, you don't agree with the people doing it. Well, that's what happens. When you sit there and you let so much go, the other side's going to push it a little more. They're going to always push that envelope a little more. So, we had, the Oregon, the raids and all that crap over there and those riots. So now you have the other side now walk on Washington and into the Capitol building. So what's the next step? The next step is, oh, here, the other side's going to one up it more and they're going to rush the White House or something. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
You can't.
let's say this
Go
was
ahead.
like, let's say they had all this planned out years and years ago, like a big playbook for 20 years of playbooking. What else could they have in that playbook that could be downright stupid as hell to get
Yeah.
people convinced?
Yeah. I don't know. I think what this was a test to see what we'll put up with. You know, that I think that's what it was. This is a test to see, will we allow it? Will we just sit back? Because everybody jokes that, oh, there's no such thing as the shadow government. Take a look at this. Something's going on. They're testing us. It's all a test to see how much we'll put up with, what we'll let go, and what we will eventually finally stand up and say, you know what, we're tired of this. Get out. you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of not random, a lot of videos been taken down, of course, on YouTube that for what reason, everybody wants to run the social media of, hey, let's not show this on social media, so quit posting it. And
Yeah,
get them banned or the video perma banned in many ways.
that's the other thing too. Is there's a lot of you know quickly quickly hidden videos. It's like, well, why are you hiding them? If you claim to be such a free and open thing, now I agree there are some videos that go way too far. And there's some extremists that will abuse it, but this wasn't extreme. This is flat out, hey, this is what's going on. Either open your eyes or sit there with your head in the dirt. Yeah. you know.
Well, I wouldn't go head of the dirt. I'd go something else, but
Yeah. Yeah.
like wake the fuck up, America.
Yeah. It's an issue that we need to start thinking, hey, something isn't right, and it's not. It's not. Yeah, people need to wake up and realize that the government isn't there always to help you. And I joked, and I'm surprised I'm not banned
From
from Twitter, and because I made the joke that, hey, it's kind of funny that the senators got the same type of security our public schools got.
oh, I didn't notice that.
You think about it, our public schools, they have no security, and people were able just to walk into them. And finally, the senators, well, of course, they weren't. DC's built like a honeycomb. You can get to any of those buildings underground, in and out. So if people are coming in the back door, you're already out a basement door or something else without even being in danger.
Right.
But I just found it funny that they finally got the same treatment that our public school kids did. No security. Guys were able to walk in with, whatever. Yeah.
Didn't one have
So
a gun?
yeah, there were a few people armed. And that's the thing. They really magnified those four people wearing guns.
Did
than
they
anything else.
shoot or anything? I heard someone shot or something or another.
One lady did get shot and died, but she was with the protesters. So the question is, who pulled the trigger?
Hmm. Yeah, that. Yeah.
And that's the other funny thing I find is they're like, "Oh, she died in vain because of these stupidity men." I'm like, "Wait a second. You're telling me they don't have video?"
No one captured it out of the
Oh,
50,000 people there.
the United States Capitol building doesn't have cameras in the halls? Oh, wait a second. They're always having video of CNN or something on the floor of the Capitol building. None of those cameras were running. None of the cameras in the hall were running. None of the cameras outside were running. You can't walk downtown in a big city without getting filmed 1,000 times. You know, that's that's what makes me think again.
I don't
Again,
know.
no video evidence. What do you mean?
I'm sure there is. They just not released it.
Yeah, they don't want to release it because it was probably somebody that they don't want to institute was an issue. It wasn't. Let's put it this way: it wasn't the right side that they want firing to give an issue. You know, Yeah, that's what it is. It
So
was one of
the
those
so
things.
whoever paid who, hired who, whatever you want to call it, they screwed up big time, most likely.
Yeah, whatever it was, somebody they didn't get the shot they wanted to, and unfortunately, the wrong person got hit. It seems way too convenient to me that they don't have a picture of the shooter up. Saying this guy's wanted for questioning. You know, you know, some random guy gets shot on the street. They have their picture up in what 12 hours. Not not even that. Hell, somebody brought it up that Black Lives Matter. The girl standing there in front of the cops. Not even doing anything. Within 2 hours, her identity was fully out there online.
Wonder if
But
any of this is on the dark web.
the dark web, there are times I'm like, I'm curious. And other times, like, it ain't worth it.
I did it, but
Yeah. Yeah, there are times like I'm so curious, but I don't want to risk it. you know,
hmm.
but just the whole fact of all of it. But so it's going to be interesting in the end. I don't condone walking on government buildings and doing this stuff. So anybody that's got the idea like, oh, these guys approve it. No,
Oh,
we don't.
why didn't they all go to freaking Area 51?
Well, that's the big thing, right? And everybody's like, "Oh, they they stole data. They picked up laptops. They picked up mail. They left laptops open and logged in." I remember when I worked for the financial industry, we weren't allowed. Like if we walked away from our desk, we had to lock the screen, and if we didn't lock the screen, we got written up. You know, and now
Was
they're
that
saying, "Oh, these people, they left their computers unlocked." Well, that sounds like a setup. you
yeah,
know
sounds typical.
So I don't know. I just got a lot of questions, and they won't be answered. What's going to happen is it's all going to get glanced over and forgotten about, you know,
I
and
find that
it'll come.
I find the bullshit people just keep bringing it up. I'm like, I don't give a crap. Drop it.
My whole thing is it should have never been allowed, and there should be a massive investigation, and whoever from the bottom all the way to the top, because that's what they'll do. They'll find some little guy that they'll ruin his life saying he was the orchestrator when it's got to go higher up. And a lot of people are like, oh, it goes to the president. the dude probably didn't even have a clue. It was probably somebody on his staff or in the background that he doesn't even know or be able to identify that planned it all.
Yeah.
you know, like he doesn't have a clue. You know, and that's one thing. People used to pick on, all the presidents. Bush, Obama, like, oh, they don't know what's going on in the background. You do understand it's a government is very complex, right? Do you know everything's going on in your little town?
I will
And then
not comment on the people that don't know.
and yeah, and then yeah, you can't even tell what's going on in little towns. And then try having a guy run not only you know the government, but keep things going on and just the White House alone. It's impossible, to be able to tell everything that's going on at that time. So you got to give them a little bit of a credit. You know, hate them, like them. You know, they're still the president of the United States. You're still a citizen of the United States. They are still your president.
I was actually surprised that we didn't have a American Civil War that day.
I don't think we will see a civil war like what everybody's used to in history. What we're gonna have is we're gonna have a civil war. You know, it's not gonna happen like the old ways. All of us walking down the street with guns. It's gonna end up turning around and be, well, we're gonna stand up and we're not gonna listen to any laws they pass because it's gonna be the elite versus the non-elite, and we're gonna see how much change happens here. Because President elect Biden is coming in and he's promising all this stuff to do differently than Trump, has done. And it'll be interesting to see if he starts doing it or he sits back and continues doing the same thing that we've been doing.
Rotting in hell. Whoops.
Well, my whole thing is everybody thinks the programs that have been pointed out in the last 4 years was only Trump's doing. Some of these programs have been going on for 10, 15 years, way before, even the change of the century. And people were like, oh no, this is all one guy. You don't put programs like that together in 4 years. You don't put them together in 3 years. Those are multiple year programs and passed down through legacies.
Yeah, that's a shame that 4 years is like nothing anymore.
Yeah. And that's why everybody's like, oh, we've been ruined. No, we've been on this path for quite a while. The whole uh, putting up a fight with the government and not being happy with them, thinking they're doing wrong. Well, you should have been paying attention for a long time. you know?
Yeah, I got nothing to say to that. Anything
So,
else you want to add to that, or?
but no, yeah, see, I think that's all more I have to say. We'll be interesting to see if people come on and tell me I'm an idiot and I don't know what I'm talking about.
If anybody even hears this, watches it,
This
vice
one,
versa, yeah, we'll
because
probably get shut down on all the platforms because of this.
this one, no, this one we're not adding to conspiracy theories. We're not saying, uh, we're not saying that it was right for that to happen, or it was definitely
Shh, you're
wrong.
making it worse.
No, I'm just telling flat out. We're talking about what we see. We see that security literally walked away, and we want answers of why they walked, why they were allowed to walk away. And we're not going to see any of them be fired
I
or
mean, it
anything else go
depends
on.
how much I got paid. Or like, yeah, F it. You go right ahead.
Yeah, that's the big question, and I did mention that, oh, can we talk about the just real quick, the dude wearing the bear skin?
Yeah, yeah. That's the guy that
Yeah,
had the cameo in it with.
yeah, the cameo with Warren Buffett. Not Warren Buffett, but the other guy that the right wingers always say is trying to destroy America.
I think.
You know, it, it, I made the joke that the dude's getting a paycheck. He's playing both sides, and in today's world, hell, why not? Play the field. I got yelled at. I got yelled at for that one. And the thing is there are people out there that will do whatever they want to get a paycheck. They don't care about your side, your political figures, or your feelings. If someone's going to pay him to do something, he's going to dress up and go.
Yeah, I mean, more power to him.
Yeah.
I mean, if a bunch
Yeah.
of people came to my work, I'd be like, "Yep, go right ahead. There you go. By all means."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing too. It would have been different if the cops, were being overrun, and they, 'cause I can understand them leaving because they're being overrun and their lives are threatened. But if you look at all the videos, their lives were never even threatened. They just stepped aside and let them walk.
Yep, they did the sidestep, and there they went.
Yeah. So, but it's gonna be interesting. We'll probably revisit this whole thing in a week or two whenever the media drops it like a rock. Like the lead boat in water, and you don't hear a thing about it again. And that's where I'm going to get real mad. Yeah, I'm getting real tired of this. You know, they're going to
Drop it.
talk about it for a little while, and then suddenly, oh, it doesn't exist. Oh, what are you talking about? You're nuts. That never happened. But it's like, yeah, it happened. It happened. It happened, and we agree that it should have never happened.
Yeah, this is America at its best. I want to
Oh
know what
yeah.
other people from other countries think.
I don't know because we're being painted in such a bad light right now. That it's not even funny. Everybody thinks that this is what America is, but this is such a small percent of what America really is. Yeah, we've had these issues for a while, but it
What
you
what
you don't
is
go down the
America?
street. America is what you make of it, not what it makes of you. Everybody's like, oh, America's not helping me. Well, no, you need to go out and make it what you want it to be. It's not going to come to you.
So that's why everybody was like bowing down to Trump because they couldn't do it.
Yeah, they thought that he'd be able to do it when, in truth, you know, it he's not going to do it. He's got money. He's going to sit back. He's going to do whatever the hell he wants. You know, uh,
I mean,
government
don't.
government doesn't help the people. The government stands there and says, "This is what we want. You do it or else." And it's up to us to say, "No, you're going to do this," and we're going to go from there.
Yeah, that sounds easier said than done, I guess, right?
Yeah, nothing's ever easy though. Life is hard. Things are hard,
Yes, it is.
and if you want to get somewhere, you got to work at it, and you're going to have to work at it hard.
Hmm. We're on almost 30 minutes. You want to add
I
anything
think we're
else to
good
that?
there. I think I'm good. I think I've rambled enough.
Uh, let's see. We could do. Where's WandaVision at? What's the release date on that?
15th.
15th.
So we'll be able to talk about that after the 15th, which I can't now. At 2 years, it better be good.
I wait. What?
After 2 years of waiting, it better be good.
Well, I mean, yeah. When's the Loki?
We don't have a date for that one yet.
Every Marvel project coming to Disney Plus in 2021. Let's look at this real quick.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know if they gave a release date for that yet, but it's been so long that we haven't heard anything yet.
Nope, there's nothing on that.
That's what I thought.
Let's see. Oh, you want to talk about Wonder Woman real quick? Since I have not seen it, I don't really care for spoilers. By the time I find it on by the time I rent it, yeah, I'll be like, oh, okay. I'll forget what everything you said. Go for it. Make it a quick one.
Did not like it.
The good, the bad, the whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Did not like it. The reason
Okay.
why is the first movie was, very good. It was very well drawn out. It took a very like serious tone. Like, this is who the character is. This is how we, they did very well establishing Wonder Woman as, someone that's gonna do good and always try to be, put her feelings aside in for the greater good of the world.
Right.
Right? Then Wonder Woman 84, they really tried playing up the campiness of 1984, which, I'm an oldie. I remember a lot of the 80s. All right. So they really tried camping on a lot of that. What they did is they literally took the TV show, which we all know the Wonder Woman TV show was campy and different. And it was supposed to be. It was the time that it was done in the late 70s, early 80s, And mainly what they did is they took the TV show and expanded it out to 2.5 hours. And they made
hours. Jesus.
They made Wonder Woman selfish. It was about what she wanted. It was about getting her love of her life back and all this other stuff. And it's like, no, that wasn't the Wonder Woman you built up. You built up this Wonder Woman that her feelings got sides. She's put her ideals aside in order to save the world, and they totally flipped it.
Oh my God!
All right, they flipped
Jesus.
it, and it was about what she wanted. With all the stone giving her wish, and she didn't want to give up her wish, even though she was losing her powers, and she couldn't help save the world, but she wanted to keep her wish of her man being back. And it's like, wait a second, this is Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was, not having to have somebody to lean on, but was able to do what she needed to, you know, you know.
Huh.
And then the third thing that really drove me nuts is every person that she saved, like in the first 15 minutes, was female only.
What?
The only villains that they had her hitting or throwing around were men.
Huh.
All right. And I'm like, wait a second, in all the other movies, Justice League and everything, they really didn't care what, the evil person was, man, woman, but they made sure to emphasize that every guy in the first 30 minutes was only an evil man. Every man that showed up was doing sexual comments,
Oh, lovely.
violent, uh, violent, aggressive, blew people off, thinking they were better. And I'm like, what the heck is this? This is not how society talks. Yeah, you find it in a small percentage, but they made like every single talking point of a man be that way. And I was like, boy, and then they dropped it. Like after 30 minutes, that whole ideal just dropped.
So did they rush the movie?
Oh, they could have split this into 3 different movies. The story between the stone, the story between what's his name coming back, the story between the other girl trying to be more like Diana, and it was off the wall. You literally probably could have cut an hour out of the movie and been fine.
Hmm.
You know?
All right. So, do you recommend it?
Uh, uh,
Okay, there's your answer,
I
folks.
it's hard to recommend, but just if you I can't even recommend it. I can't even come to a sentence of say, yeah, you should watch it just to watch the DC, universe
Oh,
movies, which
not to butt in.
yeah,
Did they add
yeah.
anything to where it's going to be put in with another movie?
You know what? I can't
Are
even
they
remember.
are they tying anything in with it? Is
No,
wow.
no,
Okay.
because by the end of it, I was just so I'm like, just let me finish this movie because it was just that like drawn out. It was that drawn out. Like, okay, come on. And how they ended the movie, like I'm gonna tell people, watch this movie. If if you want to build a story, if you want to build a story, watch the original Wonder Woman, and then watch this movie, and then you can compare the two and realize, well, I'm going to write a story. This is what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to take four different plot points and try jamming them to one. Mainly, what it is, it's Justice League again. You rushed, too much jammed in, trying to introduce different things, different world, different characters into this world in order to build it up, trying to compete with the MCU.
Jesus.
I
Yeah, that
I
makes
I
sense.
think that is what's wrong with all of the live action DCU movies is they are trying to compete with Marvel. If you watch the DC animated movies, they're extremely well put together, great storylines, great animation, and they keep you enthralled. I think they need to drop the live action series and just do the animated series for the DC universe.
Interesting.
That is my feelings because every live adaptation they've done of the DCU has been meh. Besides,
Meh.
uh,
All right.
meh has been meh. Except for the original Wonder Woman movie and Aquaman, those two they really knocked it out of the park. But the reason
Same
they knocked it
director?
out,
Do you
I don't.
remember?
I think they're different directors. But I think what happened was after the failure of Justice League, they realized, oh, we got to take this seriously and actually make sure things are coherent. So they came up
Uh-oh. I lost you. Ruh-roh.
and it was,
Oh,
well, I now can see why they pushed it back a year. If they would have released this in theaters, it would have been a failure.
hmm. Interesting.
That's my feelings. Now, people could rip me apart, find me on Dark Zeta Night on Twitter and tell me I'm a total loser, because I didn't like it, and I'm a woman hater and everything
Shame on you.
for not jumping down the line and swallowing the juice. Yeah.
Huh. So you remember how we were going to do a short podcast?
Nope, nope. We're not going to. We can never do that.
I, yeah, I know. Anything else you want to add for the day, night, evening, whatever?
No, just go to Twitter and yell at me for being an idiot on both subjects.
Oh, lovely. There you go, folks.
Bring it on. The block button's ready.
Uh, all right. Well, let's want to end it there then.
Yep. Have a good day.
You could catch the podcast at Podbean, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcast. You can go to brandonmake.com for all the information that is provided with the Discord. the podcast listing, you name it, everything's on there.
You almost got through the whole thing without stammering.
Yeah, I know. And that would be it. Have a good evening, everybody. Night, evening, day, morning, whatever it is. And we'll catch you next time. Bye.
See ya.